What's happening, guys? Welcome along to another episode of 420 News. It's Monday, guys. We survived the weekend. Nobody got arrested. At least nobody at the major protest anyway that was above in Dublin. So great to see many of the listeners and viewers of the show there over the weekend. It was great to meet many of you above there. We met Pods. Pods is out in the audience there. What's happening, Pods? It was an absolute pleasure to bump into many of you amazing, wonderful people out there. It's good to get to see the faces behind the names that are popping up here and all of these great comments that you contribute to the show every week. So nice one, guys. It was great to catch up with you, and I do look forward to having you down in Cork as well. I suppose just a little announcement, but not official as of yet, but provisionally working on the 7th of August as the next day for a protest down here in Cork. Following similar to the events of yesterday, we'll go with the picnic in the park style protest. We won't be doing any marching as it will be in the middle of August, and there isn't anywhere relevant for us to be marching to down here in Cork. Above in Dublin over the weekend, we did march upon the what was it called? The Director for Public Prosecution, the Criminal Courts of Justice, and the Garda headquarters also. So that was a very worthwhile march. But down here in Cork, all of the lads are going to be on summer holidays, all of our politicians. So for us, it's just going to be a protest by having a picnic in the park. I think that'll be a great way to protest. So the 7th of August, guys, just put it into your diaries. It's provisional yet, but I will have an official announcement to make on this very soon. Just waiting on a poster and some other artwork to get done in the background. But once I have that and everything else lined up, we will be making announcements and making it official very soon, guys. So 7th of August, put it into your diaries, provisionally booked for now for the picnic in the park down here in Cork City. So guys, we drive on. As I said, the major protest over the weekend, it was a major success. And it was, in fairness, like the Gardaí above there interacted really well with the crowd that had gathered for the protest on the day. I have to commend the Gardaí, for the way in which they interacted with us up there on the day. It was very, very positive. People were openly rolling up joints right in front of the guards, and the guards did nothing. I know there was people smoking right in front of the guards. Oh, Teresa, what's happening? Nice one. I'm not streaming over on Facebook. Oh, that's a bummer. I wonder why that is now. I'm not too sure why that is, but anyhow. Oh, wait, hang a second. I see Monsieur Fudge is commenting over on Facebook, and John Finnegan as well. So I'm not too sure what the crack is there, Teresa, with your stream. But it seems like the lads are tuning over on Facebook along with 8 other people. So give me a fright there, Teresa. I'd say you might not have got a notification, I'd say. But anyway, as I say, yeah, it was a major success above there. The Gardaí did have, I have to give it to them, they interacted very positively with us above there on the day. I have some photos here that I'll pop up on screen and now for you guys to see, but this is just kind of what I captured above there on the day. But I don't know, some of you might spot yourselves here in the photo. A few of the lads here before we enter the park getting a photo with the Patients for Safe Access banner that was hanging up on the entrance. But again, there's Kenny Tynan, the Cannabis Patient podcast host, along with some of the other supporters of the show there in the background. There we have some more supporters. Don't want to be giving away your names in case you don't want me to be giving out your names, seeing as you have different names online. Oh, yes. But a great crowd, a great audience above there. Like, I love some of the t-shirts here as well. This one is a brilliant one. I am vegetarian. What's happening? I'm Toby as well. Legend, lovely t-shirt, man. Good stuff. So again, just more photos taken there on the day. As I said, the Gardaí were very nice walking around there, just having the crack in the bands, chatting away with people, no issues at all. I don't know if you can see down in the bottom left of the corner here, the guy in the red hat with the beard. He's sitting there with a spliff in his hand. He's got a spliff in his hand. The cop is walking past, and not a bother to him at all. Like, the cop says, I hope you don't have tobacco in that. That's what the cop is saying. But again, very positive interactions here. This cop was cycling around the place on his bike that day, got off the bike, walked around, had a few chats with people. Again, people did feel a bit uneasy at first with the presence of the Gardaí, but after a little while, everybody was cool with them. They were like, these cops aren't doing anything, they're not stopping and searching anybody. So everybody just continued about their day, enjoying themselves and having a good old time. You see some of the guards up there in the background again. The guards did have a bit of a presence there at the first part of the protest because there was a march lined up. So they were only there to escort us along the march. Once the march actually happened, the guards boogied on. They didn't hang around at all. You see there in the background in the black dress with the long hair, the two guards, that's one of the organisers there speaking with the guards. And again, very positive. The guards were like, look, we're down here to escort you today for your march. We don't care about your the people here smoking cannabis. In fact, we actually support what you're doing here today. Now that was an unofficial position, I'd say, kind of said off the record, but that was coming in from the head guard that was in charge on the day, or at least one of the head guards that were in charge there on the day. But again, very supportive of us and our efforts. And this was a good old photo here. You see the guy in the red hat creeping in here, gets a lighter off one of the lads, sparks it on up, and takes a big old puff off his spliff there in front of the two guards. Excellent stuff there, like by the guards again. As I say, I have to commend it to them. They were excellent on the day. So pity they can't be like this every day. But again, just going to flick through these. We did have the helicopter fly over once or twice, but they don't think that was for us at all. There's again a few more listeners out there. What's happening, Teresa? We got Amy there as well, who was a guest on the show in the past, along with some other their friends there, and they got some really colourful, really cool posters there for calling for the government to legalise, don't criminalise, free the weed. The law is unjust, in Herb we trust, prohibition kills. Yes, great tags there, guys, great stuff. So again, an amazing day ahead. We even brought some cannabis plants up there with us as well. I wasn't the only one to bring cannabis plants that day. In fact, I only brought one cannabis plant with me. Some other people brought like multiple cannabis plants with them. So yes, the campaign of civil disobedience, it's spreading around the place. More people are braving her up now and engaging in this campaign of civil disobedience. So it was a great showing on the day. In fairness, like everybody up there engaging, openly consuming their cannabis, and the Gardaí, respecting that then as well. The boys there from Doozy Glass going around, plugging out their raffle tickets for the bong. Again, great audience. Like I would, the official number on the day was over 1,000 people throughout the day. Marching with us. I'm not too sure how many people actually marched with us, but it was a good old crack. Like there was well over a couple of hundred people there in the march anyway. Here pictured is some of the guys going around the place giving out some edibles. So there was lots of edibles given out there yesterday to the attendees. So a lot of freebies for people who showed up and supported the cause. So for anybody who was maybe a bit shyer or whatever, like hopefully this is kind of helping you get out of the closet and join us on the next protest. So there's one of the fans of the show. You know who you are out there. Again, I don't want to be giving away anybody's names. Blown clouds. Some more attendees, supporters on the day, enjoying the old festivities. So again, guys, I hope you don't mind me sharing your pictures there. You were all happy enough to pose for them anyway yesterday. So even the doggies were out enjoying it, kicking the ball around in the field. I got some gifts above there as well from the guys at the Dublin Cannabis Club and Swords Buds as well. What's happening, Swords Buds? The boys hooked me up with some Integrity Farms infused gummies and a vape cartridge there as well. Quite tasty in fairness. Like you couldn't really taste the oil from them, but it was they were good sweets. I was after way too many edibles yesterday, like for me to be able, or yesterday on Saturday, for me to be able to tell whether these were strong or not, because my ass was well and truly kicked from what I had consumed before I got up to that point of the day. I was eating bloody edibles on the way up in the train that morning at 9 o'clock, like so. I was well and truly baked by the time we got there, like. But again, more people there just enjoying the festivities on the day. People just blowing smoke everywhere. More cannabis plants here on display. Oh, Kenny again. What's happening, Kenny? And again, there's one of the organisers, Charlene, who joined me on the podcast there not too long ago, and she was picking up there after the ending of the day. You know, as the rest of us did there as well. You see Kenny there wearing the jacket of the Tidy Buds crew. I don't know the way of some more photos of the Tidy Buds crew up there. Did I get some more of the lads? There we go. We'll pop this one up on screen. There you go. The Tiny Buds squad, Tidy Buds squad, as part of Tidy Towns. So coming to a Tidy Town club near you, Tidy Buds. So we just pop back over there to some of the other photos that I was on. Boom, we finished these slideshow out. And this is how we finished off the day then. We left some of the plants down outside of the criminal courts for justice. So there you go. You see one of the signs, don't panic, it's organic. And this was the final count then of the day from the guys over at the Cork Cannabis Club, who were kind enough to go around with the clicker on the day. And they counted 1,172 people there across the day. Now, the guy going around with the clicker himself said that that was probably an underestimation of what actually showed up there on the day, because a lot of people were coming and going throughout the day. Sorry, just move my... There was a lot of people coming and going on the day. He was going around in fairness and asking people, you know, make sure that... make sure he didn't double count people and all of that stuff. Like, but 1,100 and... geez, what was it? 72? 1,172 people, like that's a fair old amount of people to show up there. So well done to each and every one of you who took the time out of your Saturday to come out and fight for cannabis legalisation, or to stand up for cannabis legalisation, because there was no fighting on there on the day, in fairness. Like, it was an incredibly peaceful day. Now, if alcohol was illegal and that was a day in the park for people to go and call for alcohol legalisation while consuming alcohol, imagine how different that would have been, the outcome there. The march, like, they probably wouldn't have been able to march after doing a few shots, like, you know, the wobbliest march in Ireland. But again, you know, compare the two. Like, if that was people out there fighting for alcohol legalisation and they were all openly consuming alcohol on the day, there would have been a much different unfolding of events there. Again, the people out there smoking cannabis all day long and not an ounce of trouble from them. Pardon the pun there. But, you know, like an incredibly successful day anyway. Tip my hat there to the organisers of the day. An amazing event. Well done, guys. I look forward to the announcement of the next event to come from me above there in Dublin. As I say, the 7th of August anyway, guys, is going to be one down here in Cork. I should have an official announcement on that very soon. And yeah, again, delighted with the day as well, Charlene. It was an amazing turnout, and I really do look forward to the next announcement from yourselves above there, and I look forward to supporting you again in that campaign, because Dublin is certainly a great place to be holding these events and getting the people out there. If I was based there myself, I would be definitely holding events up there a lot more often myself, but as it's your backyard, I won't go up there and call any protests just yet. We'll hold them down here in Cork, and we'll mix it up. I heard the lads over in Kerry as well are talking about holding a day out down in Kerry for the cannabis community. So yes, let's make this an all-Ireland affair. Let's get these events running all over the place. There's people in their own counties, towns, villages, whatever. Get them up and running, guys. You know, even if it's 20, 30, if you can get a little protest running, and if you can get the respect of the Gardaí to allow you to gather and to hold your protest, then by all means, fucking go for it. Let me know about it, and I would 100% support in each and every one of you in promoting those events and attending those events as well. So yes, guys, definitely national protests ASAP, 100% Charlene. So again, well done, Charlene, and to everybody else above there involved with the major protests, guys. Excellent day out. I had an incredible day out. I really and truly enjoyed myself, and everybody else I talked to on the day as well above there really enjoyed it. So I hope that the next announcement from the guys from the major smoke up will see not 1,000 but 10,000 people come out and support it that day. There's no reason not to, guys. If we could get 10,000 people out there, that would really be amazing message to be sending to the guys at top. So onwards we go, guys, because the reason we were out there yesterday calling for cannabis legalisation, on Saturday, geez, not yesterday, on Saturday, it felt like yesterday in fairness, because yesterday was just a blur. I was really stoned over after all of those edibles, like, great day out. But yeah, the reason we were out there on Saturday calling for the end of prohibition, the end of the war in our community, is because of headlines like this, where a man who was caught with 3 cannabis plants was brought before the courts here in Cork City after the Gardaí carried out a raid on this person's apartment. Now, why they carried out the raid in this person's apartment, I've no idea. Was it a tip-off maybe from a neighbour? Was there a smell going out in the shared space on the landing, or what have you? I'm not too sure, but it's unfortunate that Gardaí saw it necessary to waste their time and go in and raid a person's home for 3 little cannabis plants. And interestingly enough here in this case is the 3 cannabis plants had an approximate value of €500. Now that's intriguing to me, because one cannabis plant is supposed to be worth €800, but in this case it was worth €500 for all 3 plants, and that's even cheaper than what Tony Keogh got. So again, I'm wondering, is this a misprint, or what was the crack there with this case? It was Frank Buttimer who was defending the client, or the accused. Yeah, so maybe if anybody's out there and they're going to be getting represented going forward, maybe Frankie Buttimer is after arguing the value of your plants down, because €500 it's a big difference there from what it should have been €2,400 for 3 cannabis plants based on an €800 per plant valuation, which is the normal valuation used by the Gardaí in the courts. So again, I'm curious, what was it here about this case that it seemed reduced the value of the plants down to €500? The person was growing them under LED lights, and up before the courts in front of Judge Olin Kelleher, a Lithuanian national who was accused here, he received a €750 fine for cultivation of cannabis without a license. So that's not too bad, in fairness. Like, okay, like, it's 3 plants and they only were worth €500, and it's above what the plants were even worth. But in fairness, like, if like, for me anyway, that would say to people out, I would be saying to people out there, look, grow your 3 or 4 plants. The worst that's going to happen is if you get caught, you get a €750 fine, and look, fair enough, a conviction to go with it. But in fairness, like, if you're going out buying cannabis, like, you're going to be paying way more than what you would have to in this case. Like, you could easily grow in your own house under one light with one plant. You could probably get upwards of 5 or 6 ounces off of one plant under one light if you give it enough space and grow it well. 5 or 6 ounces, guys, as you know, it's worth about, what's that, about €2,000 to €3,000 for 5 or 6 ounces, going off of about €400 an ounce there on the streets, based on street prices, like. So again, there's a lot of incentive there to be growing your own. If you get caught, like, it's a small little price to pay, in fairness, like, and think about the money you save. Like, if it costs you €400 every month at the moment for your cannabis, well, if you were to grow your own, it would only cost you maybe between €100 and €200 a month for your electricity and all your inputs and stuff like that. So again, you would be saving about €200 to €300 every month. If you just put away €50 a month, like, after about, 15 months, sure, there's your €750, like, saved up and put aside, ready for your court case, like. Put away a little bit more, put away €100 every month out of that, like, and maybe you're able to pay for your own solicitors and stuff like that and get proper legal representation going into court. But again, this for me is it's definitely an incentive there for people to be growing your own. A €750 fine, it's rather much very much a slap on the wrist. Again, the worst thing in connection with this is the criminal conviction that goes with it. Now, that lasts your life, so that's down to the individual to ask yourself, is that worth it? Could you live with a criminal conviction? Is that going to be detrimental to your life? If not, what are you waiting for? Go grow your own cannabis. Like, stop building the pockets of organised crime gangs out there, in fairness. So this is what we were out there marching for on Saturday, guys. To end this persecution of our community, the wasting of our Gardaí's time, and for safer access to cannabis also. And in other headlines, guys, so we move on, and it was this is going to County Galway, We're in County Galway. The Gardaí yet again wasting their time seizing €70,000 worth of cannabis from a property in the Dohiska area of Galway. During the course of the search, the cannabis worth €70,000 was seized in the property. The seizure forms a part then of the newly launched Operation Tara, an enhanced national anti-drug strategy which was launched by the Garda Commissioner Drew Harris on July 2nd on 2021. The focus of Operation Tara is to dismantle and prosecute drug trafficking networks at all levels, international, national, local, involved in the importation, distribution, cultivation, production, local sale and supply of controlled drugs. But again, as I talked about, this at all levels basically means that the Gardaí are going to be out there targeting the most vulnerable in our communities, because that is primarily the people who they catch. Even this guy here with the €70,000 worth of cannabis. To me, are you €70,000 sounds like a lot, but in fact, that's probably about maybe 15 to 20,000 euros worth of cannabis, wholesale. This guy was probably just holding it, if anything, or was maybe after getting it on tick, and is now in debt to these organised crime gangs to the tune of maybe 20,000 plus euro, because the cannabis that he was supposed to sell to acquire that money and repay the debt is now gone. So all this is really going to do is put this person in the in the firing line, of the organised crime gang. He's in harm's way right now. If this guy is indebted to these organised crime gangs, and he's no way of coming up with the money. So again, this is how the most vulnerable in our communities are being preyed upon, not only by the organised crime gangs, but by the guards too, under this Operation Tara. Complete waste of time. €70,000 worth of cannabis, it's but a crumb off of a slice of bread out of an entire factory worth of sliced pans. €70,000, that nothing in cannabis terms. What's that, 3.5 kilos? Fucking nothing. Absolutely nothing. That's going to be quickly replaced. And the same with this, above in Dublin, there was another man arrested, and €80,000 worth of cannabis was seized. Again, another waste of time here by a Gardaí. A man in his 50s was arrested at the scene, and this was at a residential property in Donabate on Saturday. So while we were out protesting for the ending of this prohibition, the Gardaí were out there executing warrants and kicking in doors, busting skulls. And this also was carried out again as part of Operation Tara. So Operation Tara was busy over the weekend. So far in just this encounter, they've seized almost or over €150,000 worth of drugs already since it's been launched. Again, this is going to be used now, maybe Operation Tara. How long is it going to go for? Maybe 6-12 months? So at the end of the 12 months, the guards are going to come back and say, well, we arrested this many people, we put this many people in jail, and we seized this much drugs. Pat in the back for us, guys. We're doing great, aren't we? But meanwhile, what about the youth workers against prohibition and all of the young people that they talk about who are being taken advantage of by the organised crime gangs, but also being criminalised by our Gardaí? Is that included in the success of your operation? No, they ignore these things. That young person that is represented by the Gerard Rose and the youth workers against prohibition, that young person is just a statistic to the guard. The guards don't care about the individuals behind these statistics. All they really care about are the numbers. And this is not all guards. Again, we met some nice guards over the weekend, but these are the guys at the top. These are the guys who love the statistics. They love the numbers, because the numbers to them represent success. If they go out and they seize 3 million worth of drugs today or tomorrow, whatever, it needs to be more the next day, or we're dropping the ball, we're going down. This is how they rate their success. So again, it's a waste of time. It's only benefiting the Gardaí. It's not benefiting the young people out there in the communities, again, who are the ones who are most at risk because of this Operation Tara and because of the prohibition of drugs. So again, we after that, we drive on, we go to County Wexford, where again, Operation Tara is fucking rolling. Their boys are blazing it out there in Operation Tara, in fairness to them. €73,000 worth of cannabis was seized and a 38-year-old man arrested. And this was after a property was searched as part of the operation to tackle organised crime and drug dealing in the area. In total, 3.67 kilos of cannabis was discovered, and the man arrested is currently being held at the Wexford Town Garda station under Section 2 of the Criminal Drug Trafficking Act. So there we have 3 cases of Operation Tara, 3 cases involving people getting arrested and locked up where it doesn't need to be the case. Again, you look across the ocean there, we go over to America, and this cannabis is being sold by reputable retailers where there's taxes being generated, where there's jobs being created, and where there's young people being protected. Here in Ireland, this is what we do. We waste hundreds of millions of taxpayers' money. We launched this Operation Tara where the only thing today that's catching is cannabis. That's it. Is this good use of taxpayers' money? The people I met above there over the weekend, many of them were patients themselves, using cannabis for all sorts of things, whether it be for arthritis, whether it be for chronic pain, or whether it be for appetite stimulation or sleep stimulation. Many of the people I met there over the weekend were using cannabis for medicinal reasons, and here we see taxpayers' money being used yet again to prolong the suffering of these people, because we don't know the cannabis here that's been seized, how much of that was actually destined for patients. And I would imagine quite a bit of it anyway was destined for patients, if the crowd above in Dublin that I met over the weekend is to be kind of used as an example there. I would say close to 10% of the people, if not more, were using cannabis for medicinal reasons that I met above there in Dublin over the weekend. So again, waste of time here by our Gardaí. Let's hope the message that we sent on Saturday reaches the top very soon, because we don't need to see this stuff anymore. That cannabis that was seized there so far, let's say €200,000 worth, slap a 23% tax on that, and you're talking in €46,000. Imagine what could be done in the local communities with €46,000. What was mentioned there, Wexford, Galway, Cork, 3 places there, split the 46 grand up between them, and I'd imagine there's some incredible communities, clubs within the communities there that would be able to do amazing things with this money. And again, this money would be there if we were to regulate it. We regulate it, we put a 23% tax on that, and then we ring fence a proportion of that tax that's generated from the sale of cannabis, and we put it into things like schools, hospitals, local sports clubs. It's a no-brainer. What's going on out there? I just don't understand it. That's fingers crossed, that our efforts there were not in vain at the weekend, and that the message will be carried to the top. The momentum is building, guys, so let's keep the momentum going. As I say, the 7th of August is going to be the next day out that I'm aware of for the cannabis community here in Ireland to come out and have your say, and to stand up and to send a message to the guys at the top that we don't want this anymore. We don't want this war on drugs in our streets. The prohibition of cannabis, it's fucking destroying our communities, and it's high time we end it. Yes. So the comments out there, guys, I see loads of comments coming in there, guys. Nice one for all of the comments. Zombie Nation is out there. We have Dagged Doc, what's happening, guys? We have Mustaways, Lorraine Cambridge, what's happening? Did anyone ever hear of Section 19.1 of the Misuse of Drugs Act? Section 19.1, I didn't, but I'll have a quick look at it. Misuse of 1977. Occupiers permitting certain activities to take place on land, vehicle or vessels guilty of an offence shall be guilty of an offence. Yeah, that's the one where you basically allow your house or a property in which you own to be used for the consumption or production of drugs. Yeah, so if you own your house and the cops kick in your door and you're in there and you're smoking and you have a few friends in there and you're smoking as well, the cops actually could I'm pretty sure they can make a claim against your house, that you are allowing your house to be used for the consumption of drugs. So therefore it's what would I say? It's kind of like it was used in a crime, so therefore it can be seized. I don't know if I'm actually doing it here in Ireland, but I would imagine that they probably could try to do it. Bogwan Sun is out there as well. What's happening, Bogwan Sun? Great meeting you there on Saturday. Hebsy girl, pity you're so far away, Hebsy girl, because I imagine if you were here in Ireland, we would have got to hook up and say hi. But maybe sometime into the not too distant future, you might be over here visiting. Who else is out there as well? Hype, what's going on, Hype? Skitanist, Wooly, John Finnegan, what's going on, John? Great meeting you as well over the weekend there, John. Legend man, great stuff. Is Podge85 on YouTube? If so, can you sort that dude out? He's fecking up the chat in the hot box. Yeah, guys, if just go easy on the old spamming in the hot box. Pods 4420 down to Cork for the day. Sounds good to me, Martin. You got 100% support. Yes. And Teresa saying was brilliant meeting everyone. It was. I loved meeting everyone. Like, geez, so many of you amazing people out there. So we've other headlines, guys, the belt through, and it is 2 arrests were made after €160,000 worth of cannabis was seized by Gardaí in Cork City. So this was a seizure that took place here on a Saturday again. So on a Saturday, the Gardaí in Cork, they stopped a car with a man and a woman in their 30s in it. This was at, which part of the city was this at? It doesn't say where they were stopped and searched, but there was €40,000 worth of cannabis found inside in the vehicle anyway. And a follow-up search then out in White's Cross on the north side of the city found a further €120,000 worth of cannabis inside in that property. So I do have an old photo there of this. Do I? Let's see if I'll pop it up there on screen fee. But €160,000 worth of cannabis that was seized out there. Boom, there it is. So there's the €160,000 worth of cannabis that was seized out in White's Cross here in the city. Again, another waste of time by the Gardaí, because, you know, if the government just got their act together, legalised and regulated this, they wouldn't have to do this. Do you know, they could be focusing on the rapists, the murderers, the fucking paedophiles, and even the bankers out there and the scummy shit that they'd be doing. Because us in the cannabis community, like, all we want to do is just have a little bit of herb, like, you know, make some music and spread some good vibes. Like, I've never met a person who smoked cannabis and wanted to do bad after it, you know? It just doesn't happen. Cannabis is not something that our Gardaí need to be policing. It's a waste of their time. They're not keeping us safe by doing it. In fact, they're achieving the complete opposite. They're making us more in danger, more at risk because of their policing of the drugs. The prohibition of drugs is after empowering these organised crime gangs, and it's just destroying our communities. Like, so this is another example of the waste of time by our Gardaí there. €160,000 worth of cannabis going to be destroyed now, when in fact this would have brought smiles to many people's faces, and it might have even brought relief to many patients too, who would have relied on these criminals who are going to be brought before the courts and locked up in prison, who all that they were going to do, you know, the criminals were going to provide these patients relief, you know, and they're getting locked up for it. This is backwards, like, you know what I mean? You'd swear if they were selling them like some sort of fucking drug that was going to kill them if they were to consume it. Like, but cannabis is not a dangerous drug. It's not going to kill you. The most dangerous thing about cannabis currently is the fact that you have to get it off of criminals, and that if you get caught with it, you might end up in front of the bloody judge and possibly inside in a prison cell. Let me drive on because there was more seizures. Oh, God. Ugh. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really sorry. Like, I should have put a disclaimer or a warning, you know, fucking trigger warning up at the start of the show that this might piss some people off. Like, but again, above in Dublin Airport, there was almost over €500,000 worth of cannabis seized. This was €600,000 worth of cannabis being seized above there with the help of drug dog Holly. So drug dog Holly helped out above there in Dublin Airport, and yeah, what a waste of feckin' time. Drug Dog Holly, actually, that's Drug Dog Enzo who's up on screen there. I'll get Drug Dog Holly up on screen because Drug Dog Holly looks like a lovely old dog. I love me dogs, in fairness, like, and yeah, I think Drug Dog Holly deserves to retire like the many other drug dogs over in America. She's doing us a disservice here. Dogs are supposed to be man's best friend. And how can you be man's best friend when you're taking away the source of people's relief from their pain, you know? So sorry, Holly, I really do hope that your human handlers will let you retire someday, and that the harms you do to our community will soon be brought to an end. So and pictured there beforehand actually was drug dog Enzo with a drug dog Enzo was found. What did drug dog Enzo find? Drug dog Enzo helped find. Oh yes, drug dog Enzo helped find this next one. This one. 2 men arrested in separate seizures of cannabis worth a total of €1.5 million. So this was with the aid there of drug dog Enzo. So again, drug dog Enzo there helping out the cops above and sniffing this one out. So a 40-year-old man has been arrested after the cannabis was seized in a warehouse in North Dublin on Friday. So this happened on Friday evening as part of a multi-agency operation which was conducted by the Garda National Drugs and Organised Crime Bureau and Revenue's Customs Service as part of an ongoing investigation targeting people to be suspected to be involved in organised crime. A warehouse in Glasnevin was searched as part of the operation, and more than 71 kilos of herbal cannabis was seized with an estimated value of €1.43 million. So the man was arrested in relation to the drug trafficking offences and is currently detained under Section 2 of the Criminal Drug Trafficking Act at the Blanchardstown Garda Station, and he can be held there then for up to 7 days, interestingly enough. Yeah, 7 days. But if you murder somebody, and if you're a suspect in a murder crime, 2 days, I believe. How long? Yeah, I think it's like fucking 2 days. Like, how long can Gardaí hold a murder suspect? Just curious. I believe it's like for fucking 2 days. Reflecting the current law, it will allow Gardaí to detain suspects for up to 24 hours for serious offences, and up to 168 hours for certain offences listed in Schedule 5s. And these include offences linked to organised crime and drug trafficking. So let's have a look at these Schedule 5 offences. Schedule 5 offences, because I'm just curious of this one now. Like, you know, you could be held for 5 days for drugs, but Section 5 offences. So terrorist acts, basically, like. Yeah, so that's it, like, yeah, terrorist acts. So if you're a suspect in a murder case, like, about 24 hours is all the cops can really hold you for. But if you get caught with some cannabis, like, it's 7 days the boys can keep you in there for. That's gas, isn't it? Who do you think that it's more beneficial to be catching? Like, is it a murder suspect, or is it a guy who's trying to bring in some fucking health and happiness to people? I think that's what I'm going to start calling cannabis, health and happiness, because that's what it brings to many fucking people. There's a very, very small proportion of people who use cannabis where it's detrimental to their lives. I'd imagine 99% of people who use cannabis, it brings them health and happiness. So again, €1.5 million worth of cannabis is going to be destroyed here when we could be generating taxes on it. We look across to America, like, and we look at places like Colorado and California, and all of the taxes that they're generating off of this, it's going to their schools, hospitals, and their roads. I'm sure Ireland could be fixing many of the fucking potholes we've out there, destroying our bloody cars at the moment, rather than pumping money into a failed war on drugs. Like, the boys are going to be looking for more money next year. Like, you come the budget session, watch. I guarantee you, come budget 2021, the boys in the Justice Department are going to be looking for an old bump up in the numbers. Like, when it should be the opposite. Like, you know, it should be, look, we're fucking taking away the Misuse of Drugs Act. You don't need to target drug users or drug dealing anymore, because the government is going to supply the drugs. The community is going to supply the drugs now to the people who use them. And it's not a criminal thing anymore. So now you can, look, keep the budget what you have. We're not going to give you a raise in your budget, but the same $3 billion you got last year, you can have that again this year, and you gotta fucking do better with it this year, because now you don't have to target drugs. Like, and that is taking up, I would imagine, I don't know, would you think that 30% of the time is how much is wasted by Gardaí on drugs, or would you say it's more? I would say 30%, maybe 40% of Gardaí's time is dealing with cases that involve drugs in some shape or form, whether it be drug dealing, organised crime, gangs dealing drugs, or just fucking drug users stopping and searching them at the side of the road. I would imagine a lot of Gardaí time is wasted on them. And, you know, I'm not including the time there in just patrolling, you know. When they're out on patrol, they're out patrolling, but a lot of the time when they're out patrolling, what are they patrolling for? Somebody with drugs, the young fella in the hoodie, do you know? So when the Garda is actually doing some work, like it's focusing on drugs. So I would say like a good close to 30-40% there being wasted. Imagine if we could take that away. Imagine how efficient our Gardaí could be if like 30-40% of their workload was now removed. Why don't they want this? Like, and in fairness, like the guards who were above there at the weekend actually did want this. They supported us. They said, look, we support this. This is great. We want to see more of this, in fact. So well done to those guards. I wish they could speak up. Like, if any of them want to come on or on to Martin's World anonymously, get in touch with me. We can arrange that. And we drive on, guys, because a past guest of the show from America, this was Darren White, ex-sheriff Darren White, who was a guest on the show before, who's the CEO of Pure Life, which is a cannabis production company over in America, in Texas, actually, to be more specific. But Darren White was the sheriff there in Texas and a drug czar. So he's completely like fucking gone 180 on his position before, where he believed, you know, that cannabis and drugs, that they're fucking deadly and dangerous, and that the authorities need to do all that they can in order to prevent people access to them. He's now providing access to one of the fucking most common narcotics that he was targeting in his war on drugs as a sheriff and a drug czar. So go back, check out that interview if you haven't already checked it out with Darren White, Sheriff Darren White. Not too sure which episode number that was, but it wouldn't be too hard to find anyway. Sheriff Darren White on Martin's World podcast. We have a great old conversation there as to his past, as to things he's done, and his feelings now reflecting back upon some of the things he's done in his past, and also talking about what it's like to run a cannabis production company then in Texas. Texas have recently allowed now for adults who don't need cannabis for medicinal reasons to get access to it, whereas when I talked to Darren during that episode, they could only sell it to medical cannabis consumers. Darren said it in the podcast at the time that once they're allowed to sell to adults just openly who don't need it for medical reasons, that his business was going to maybe triple, possibly even quadruple. That's how popular cannabis is over there. So he says I was wrong about cannabis he was wrong about cannabis. So the former Irish-American police chief on his Breaking Bad conversion. That was the headline there over on the Irish Examiner. So again, another very positive headline in the Irish news, a very positive article there outlining the cannabis trade in America, which is, it was great. It's a great contribution to the movement here. So thanks very much, Darren White, and to your contribution here to the movement. It's definitely helping, and it's only going to add to the momentum that is currently there, because I'd imagine now there's going to be a lot of people who would read this that would have been fence-sitters or even supporters of prohibition, who might now jump over the fence or maybe jump up on the fence and sit in it, which is fucking either is an improvement, like, you know, whether, as long as they're not on the prohibition side anymore, like happy bloody days. I would much rather see them sitting on the fence than sitting on the side with the prohibitionists. So this is only going to help. This is a great contribution here to the movement, and thanks very much, Darren, for that. Also, thanks very much to Mustawes, who got in and all supported the show there earlier and saying, go on to Tidy Buds crew. Yes, up the Tidy Buds. I look forward to getting out with the Tidy Buds there and cleaning up some of Ireland's streets in the not too distant future as well. Another great way for us to demonstrate our great community that we have. And in other news then over in America, guys, in the White House, there is a push for WADA to rethink its cannabis use in sports. So this is coming from the White House after Sha Richardson pictured hair with a big spliff hanging out of her mouth. So Sha Richardson, as you all probably are well aware of, got booted from the Olympics there not too long ago over failing a drug test over the consumption of cannabis. Sha Richardson had consumed some cannabis after finding out that her biological mother had passed away. She found this out during a press interview, it was. So this left her feeling distressed, and a friend offered her some cannabis afterwards. I believe it was to help her sleep or just to wind down after fucking finding out such devastating news. And after that, then she failed a drug test. She did not use cannabis as a performance-enhancing aid. She used it to help just to deal with the grievance with the loss of a loved one. So now the White House has come out in support of Shah Richardson and is going to be calling on the WADA to have a meeting with them where they're going to be looking to discuss, the use of cannabis in sports and the basis for considering it a performance-enhancing drug and also in the time frame for testing also. So it'll be interesting to see the outcome of that conversation. Now, it's worth adding that America is one of the largest contributors to WADA. They give WADA, so that's the World Anti-Doping Agency. They give them almost $3 million every year. So you'd imagine that they're going to be paying attention to anything that comes from the White House in regards to how they treat athletes. I'd imagine they're going to want to keep their biggest contributor and in the good books, So this can only mean great things going forward for the cannabis community at large, because if these talks are successful and if WADA have a re-examine the use of cannabis in sports, hopefully it will follow suit of the likes of the UFC, where in the UFC they've recently announced, the UFC actually not too long ago announced it, but more recently actually it was the Nevada State Athletic Commission came out and supported the ending of testing people for cannabis use in sports because it's not a performance-enhancing drug. So fingers crossed, that's where fucking the Olympics goes as well, because it's not a performance-enhancing drug. Much like alcohol, much like other drugs that people use for whatever reason, cannabis is exactly like those. It's a drug, it's a tool that people use for various reasons, but performance-enhancing in sports is certainly not one of them. So it's not worthy of a ban should a person test positive for it, So we drive on from there, guys, and the final headline I have for you today then is that 3 batches of pre-rolls in Canada, in Alberta, Canada, have been recalled by Health Canada. Actually, sorry, that was the wrong headline there, so we'll correct that one. Never corrected that before the show started, but this is over in Canada, I suppose, and this is what the benefits of legalization actually mean to the people around it, because the consumers are getting protected. This is how they're going to be protected over in Alberta, Canada, and I'll get the doggy off here. Sorry, Aries, you're getting retired again. But over in Alberta, Canada, these pre-rolls were put on the market and by Atlas Growers Limited, Zowers Apples Full Flower Dried Cannabis Pre-Rolls. So that was the product that was being recalled, and it was being recalled because it was discovered that the products contained some hazardous levels of yeast, mold and bacteria. And again, because of regulation, because of the ending of prohibition over there, they were able to track and trace all of the products to the stores where they were sold from, and again those stores are able to put out notices to the people who would have bought them to say, hey, come here guys, these products have been recalled, and if you have any of them, please return them to us and we will refund you. Like, where are you going to get that in under prohibition? Like, if there's somebody out there with moldy, dodgy weed right now up above in, I don't know, Dublin, Galway, Cork, the 3 places that were mentioned, like, if there's any of the criminals out there, they're going to sell it. They're going to still sell it. They're not going to go back and say it to their supplier and say, come here, look, I'm going to have to return this there because there's dangerous levels of mold on here. Look, I can see a bit of fucking mold on it, like, and it's not good. They won't. They'd laugh at them. It's like, come here, why? Jog on, like, go on away and complain to the Consumers Affairs there for yourself, in fairness, like, so again, this is what prohibition, or this is what regulation means for consumers, because consumers can be protected from these dangerous products. According to Health Canada, certain individuals who could use these products that are affected, they may experience some allergic symptoms, which include sneezing, coughing, itchy or watery eyes, wheezing of the chest, or a runny nose or nasal congestion. So again, like unpleasant, but not deadly, but unpleasant. So again, a great example of how regulation works and how we can protect consumers here. Not only would you put an age limit on the products, but you would put quality standards in place so consumers can be protected from dangerous contaminants such as molds, yeast, and bacteria. Again, if you're a person out there and you're suffering with, I don't know, like let's say that you've got a compromised immune system, and you're using cannabis because, let's say you suffer with chronic pain or something like that, and now you're consuming this product like that, that's dangerous for you, especially if you vaporize it. So vaping these products are actually even more dangerous than if you were to burn them. So vaping is considered a healthier alternative to smoking, but what it's missing, what it's lacking is the sterilizing agent, the flame. The flame would sterilize the cannabis by burning the molds and stuff like that, which would reduce the effects of it then in the lungs afterwards. Whereas with the vaporizing of the products, especially when there's aspergillus, if there's aspergillus, which is another, I believe aspergillus is a bacteria. I don't think it's is it a fungi, aspergillus? Or yeah, it's a fungus actually. Yeah, aspergillus is actually a fungus, so my suspicion was right. So if you get aspergillus on your cannabis and you start vaporizing it, that can actually lead to some respiratory infections and some serious complications there if you're exposed to it for a prolonged period of time. So again, guys, just be careful of where you're getting your weed from. Grow your own, and even when you're growing your own, like, it's important when you're growing your own to know how to dry properly, and even in the growing process, you have to make sure that especially those fat buds, if you get big fat tycolas, like fucking mold, bud rot is definitely an issue there. So yeah, happy days for the guys in Canada. The consumers being protected over there from moldy, dodgy products, whereas over here the consumers are not being protected, and in fact are being targeted by our Gardaí, who should be protecting them. So that's it for today, guys. Much appreciated everybody for tuning in to today's 420 news. Before we go, I have one little picture that I want to pop up on screen for you. Something I was making there a while ago, messing around with some of those photos from the guards. Yeah, and it's probably not the greatest of photoshops, but it's pure simple, Any notch for the joint going, lads? Sorry, it had to be done, do you know what I mean? That had to be done. We can have fun with some of these photos with the cops there interacting with us, and I just thought this was a little light-hearted approach there from the guard. Again, he was sound on the day, he came around, he was there early, this guard, and he was quite sound in fairness, so this is light-hearted, no offence meant by this at all, Garda, if you're out there watching. I hope you are. I hope you're out there watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. But yeah, guys, I hope everybody enjoyed this show. I'm going to quickly flick through your comments again. I've missed a lot of your comments from up above, but yeah, I'm going to try to do them justice here if at all possible. So, Bagwan Son, flood warning issues at the weekend as England lost and Connor lost. Lots of people crying. 52 watching and only 30 likes, guys. Smash that button. Come on, guys, hit that like button. Listen to Greenbeard. Yes, nice on Greenbeard. And Bagwan's son saying, imagine my dealer saying that to me. Hi PCK, that fucker's smoking Jeffries. John Finnegan saying, lazy stoners racing each other around the monument on Saturday at full tilt. Yeah, and that is it really out there, Bagwan's son. Bagwan's son saying here, it's either take it or leave it. And no take-backs, and that's exactly what happens when you buy cannabis from the black market. If it's shit cannabis, if it's sprayed, if it's covered in mold, you can guarantee it's tip tax, no backs. Once you hand over that money to your dealer, it's gone. You've no comebacks. as I say, like, it's not as if you can go to the Consumer Affairs Agency and complain. Yeast mold and bacteria, nice things to be putting in your body, all right. Yeah, definitely, like, and that's pods, Russell Banta, mold. Dagadak, rather have a little of those organic things probably than cannabis hit with radiation than to kill off those things, though. Well, in fairness, like, there's many foods that we already commonly consume that get gamma irradiated. Gamma radiation is it's a mild process of sterilization, there's little evidence to suggest that gamma radiation is dangerous to the consumers of those products, and studies have shown as well that it does little to no damage at all to the compounds within the products. Again, the guys at Bedrocan actually done a study on their cannabis that was gamma irradiated, and what they found was that the loss of volatiles from the cannabis was on par with the loss that would have occurred normally within the environment anyway. So gamma radiation, guys, again, I'm a herbal scientist there and whatever, like, gamma radiation is kind of seen as an effective way to sterilize things without damaging the product. It causes little to no changes at all within the product. So again, I would much prefer to get organically sun-grown cannabis that's not after being gamma irradiated or treated in any way at all. I would prefer if good agricultural and harvesting practice were put in place in order to ensure that no mold or bacteria or anything dangerous was getting to any excessive levels there on the plant. So again, gamma radiation's not the worst. It's certainly got its place there. Again, you talk about these people who are immune compromised, like, they would certainly appreciate having a gamma irradiated product that's completely sterile. It's not for everyone, though. Other comments out there, Zombie Nation, what's happening? Enjoying it, mate. Been wanting to get it done since moving here, as current one is a shite. Already had tiles too. Nice one, Martin. Coming in from Mark. Not about America. And Russell Banta. Young Jamie has big plans. Heard it here first. Free the weed. Go on, Jamie. And Greenbeard, Daga, could you stop spamming, bro? It's quite hard to follow everyone else. Come on, Daga. Come on. One comment per minute. Unless it's important. Bhagwan's son said he's sorted that Garda has the best suppliers. Send me that pic, Martin. Not a bother at all. Pods4420 says I'd say he was a sergeant or something. Yeah, he was one of the higher ups there anyway on the day. I think the guys at the Major Smoke Up actually named him afterwards and thanked him personally. But yeah, I didn't catch the guy's name at all on the day. I was just standing behind the camera. To be fair, like, I felt safer behind the camera taking pictures than going over interacting with him. As I say, it was after too many bloody edibles, man, and I felt like if I went over talking to the cops, like, that I might have challenged them a little bit too much or something, like, and I don't know, I would have wanted to go over there and blow smoke in their face almost, like, but I just said it was best to get the photos of them, because how often are you going to get photos of cops just walking around people smoking cannabis openly and not ripping them apart, like, it was just too golden a moment for me to put the camera down anyway. And yeah, Greenbeard, you were talking there as well with that fella as well, weren't you? You're saying here he was a sound cop, or shame the rest of them aren't like him. That's it, like, but I bet you that fella could be a CONT as well, like, it was just the day that was in it, in fairness, like, but still, tip my hat to the guys, like, credit to them, give credit where credit's due, and those Gardaí on the day, they were great. Man Falls, what's happening? Mel Marty, sorry couldn't make the smoke up, but I got to try shrooms for the first time, so I couldn't pass it up. Nice. I hope that was a nice trip that you had there, Man Falls. I'll be due one of those myself as well quite soon. Zombie Nation, I know two of the people in the pic and I wasn't even there. Go on, Zombie. R420 supplies. Guards seem to be engaging well with the crowds on the day. The guards were a credit to themselves on the day. It was very positive, I had to say. I have no bad things to say about the guards on the day in question. So long may that continue. I really hope that can be seen and replicated in future events too. I wonder if the Gardaí were included in the count. Go on to the Cork Cannabis Club, guys, over on Twitter to find out. Dagadoc saying, stand with Hong Kong against the CCP. Dagadoc, man, what are you on about, dude? Russell Banta, Satanist, how are ya? DB Woodcraft, flood warning in Scotland too from everyone up there pissing themselves laughing. Bhagwan's son, to be fair to the Garda, they even told people travelling to the event just smoke over there kind of way so that the day was good. There you go, guys. Positive interactions there with people. 1100 was very good, especially in the middle of COVID. Yeah, that's true as well, Russell. 1100 was a great crowd to get out there. And Mustawa is there as well. Safe to say I was caught on camera. Again, guys, apologies if you didn't want your images shared there. I didn't share anybody's names anyway through that, so I hope you're all good. Skatana says, my dealer has a money-back policy, but I never needed it. Go on, you have a good dealer there, don't you? It's kind of like the, what's that? If you buy a tray and if you don't like it, you get your full money back and you don't even have to send the product back. What was that? Who does that? On it. Bhagwan's son saying, at Russell next month, mate. Next month. Yes, look forward to it, guys. Next week or next month, Russell. That's my style is. Skatana's doing good. I was somewhere else yesterday though. Zombie Nation, I watched you live for a bit. Yes, good stuff there. We did get a good live stream, in fairness, up above on Facebook and over on YouTube. Before my phone went dead, I was trying to reserve my battery on the day, so I only went live twice for the March and for the 420 smoke up part as well. So yeah. Go on, Mark. Mark is still abstaining here, refusing to buy from the hoods. Good stuff. Mustawa says, I must finish watching the stream from GB. I must go back and have a look over GB's stream as well. Pick the worst comment. sorry, zombie. I'll be just reading them through it, like, and I should read it to myself first and then read it to you, but then I just hate the silence, like, so I normally just belt straight into the comments, like. And Hype is saying here, read a North 40 cannabis post about his weed having mold, and he said the time it takes to get to the consumer and not being sorted correctly doesn't help either. And not being stored correctly, yeah, that's true. Russell, like, subscribe, hit the bell, donate, subscribe to Martin's Patreon. Go on, Russell. You're telling him do it all there, Russell, aren't you? Right, before we get into the rest of the comments, we got a couple of more comments there to get through, guys, but I got a bowl that's been packed up here since the start of the show, that I'm going to blaze it up there now, guys, witchy. I was a little bit late starting there earlier on today because I was trying to get my photos sorted before the show. And Bogwan's son calling her out there in the comments, actually. No bong hit, Martin. Broke up like the rest of us today. Only just spotting that now as I picked up the bong, Bogwan. This one's you, Bogwan. Seeing as you're the only one who noticed, or at least the only one who said it in the comments anyway, that there was no bong hits yet in the show today. Little civil disobedience protest, guys. Legends. We have a comment coming in there as well from the Irish Hemp Harvest. Thanks very much for supporting the show, guys. Saying, I'm happy to help with any of the Cork protests. Excellent, guys. It's great to have your support out there. Much appreciated. Great community around this show, and already have a number of volunteers stepping up to the plate to get involved. Excellent stuff, guys. Also, Irish Hemp Harvest, thanks very much for contributing to Saturday's protest with the bag of Feed the Bird seeds. I got those spread around up there on the day and shared out to many of the people who attended. Also, the pack of raw cards came in very handy on the train journey up. Myself and the Cork Cannabis Club member had a great old game of cards on the way up and a good old chat too, so it really helped pass the time. So thanks very much for that, Irish Hemp Harvest. Legend. Also got some of your abracadabra here as well. I think this is your abracadabra. You said it was. A lovely old nugget. In fairness, like. Beautiful old nugget. So this was sent to me by Irish Hemp Harvest. This is abracadabra, I believe you said it was, Irish Hemp Harvest. But a fine looking nug, in fairness, like, and a lovely smell off it too, like, really nice stuff. It goes down nicely in the old volcano. Other comments out there, Greenbird saying how I wasn't volunteering to speak with them. They may have been cool, but still I don't want them to know my ugly mush with my grows at home. Yes, that's it, Greenbird. I was wondering actually because and I won't say any more actually because I don't want to be fucking saying anything that I shouldn't be here. Private talk for later. WRT GB, I bet time slowed down a bit when that copper was. Other comments out there, guys. John Kelly, sorry I'm late, Martin. Not a bother at all, John. Welcome along to the show, but hopefully you're having a good old day. Other comments, yeah, I wouldn't be up for it either after I'd already incriminated myself during friendly conversations. John Finnegan saying I got snapped a few times also, but sure, what about it? Exactly, guys. What's that's the harm? Like, feck it. Like, it's not as if like you had your name plastered to your head. Like, you're out there in support of the day. Like, you shouldn't be afraid to have your photo taking at a cannabis legalization protest. It says a lot about the stigma and the fear that still exists out there, that there is still people who show up to these things who don't like having their photo pop up afterwards. They don't like being associated with it, and there's still many people don't show up as well because of that. So fair play anyway, John, for showing up. And good stuff as well, man. It was great meeting you. And yourself as well, man. Sure, what's happening, man? Sure, and your missus. It was great to meet the both of you above there. Sorry I didn't get to sit and chat with more of you for longer, guys. I was running around meeting so many people there on the day that I got to spend like 5 or 10 minutes kind of meeting and chatting with people before I would push on then and meet somebody else. But it was a great day, great networking, and great crowd. I'm sure saying thanks to all who contributed to my road up. I made my voice known. Hopefully meet you all again. And there you go, guys. Great community out there that helped contribute to Monshore Fudge and get them on the train above to Dublin for the protest there on Saturday. We didn't just get one above by helping Monshore to get up. We also got his partner to come up too. So it was a buy one get one free deal there on Monshore. Nice on Monshore, legend. It was great meeting you again. But why isn't there any non-GMO project verified cannabis? I'm not sure, Dagadoc, man. You're gonna have to go out there and maybe start it up by. Irish Hemp Harvest, yes, nice one for the support of this show there earlier. Zombie Nation as well was mid-flood and tried with my phone, but reception was shit. Caught up when I got home with the full streams. Nice one there, Zombie. Again, I'm probably after reading out a shit comment again. Am I? Sorry, man. It's hard to read stuff here. I'm just flicking through the comments down the side and seeing what's going to pop up. Russell Banta, I'm just in the door and you have me running for the bong. Go on, Russell, bud. Get it in your son. Bogwan Son says, let me know about more flyers, etc. for the next one so I can help hand them out, etc. And bird seeds and stickers. Legend. Go on, Bogwan. There we go, guys. Some great volunteers out there. Great interview with you at Martin on Feminized Buds podcast. Nice one for that, DB Woodcraft. Yeah, I took the time out with the guys a few weeks back to have that conversation. Really enjoyed talking with the two girls over there as well on the Feminized Buds podcast. So check that out, guys, if you haven't heard it already. As long as up to Wooly in the bat me with the brain damage joint on the place. Dave AK, your Cork protest ended up in Google News a few days ago. Good to see. Yeah, I've been sent that actually from far and wide. I've had people over in America and people from Australia kind of saying, hey, you popped up in my news feed this morning. Like, well done, great stuff. It's great to see this news coming out of Ireland. So guys, get out there, get involved. Civil disobedience campaigns, like, they're the way we're going to get change to happen here in Ireland, because relying on the politicians to do it by contacting them with emails and letters and phone calls, like, come on, like, they don't have compassion for the patients out there. So why are they going to have compassion for us who are just getting contact to say, like, we just want to grow and smoke our own weed because we like it? You know, get out there, guys. Civil disobedience all the way. Might do a little bit of civil disobedience here again, actually, myself. Gonna have to get off here as well in the next 10 minutes, guys, because it's Monday night, and you might know what that means. Thai boxing, yeah! Can't wait. Greenbeard saying, we're grown adults and doing what we know is not wrong. Exactly. There you go, man. John Finnegan, Greenbeard, Percy's grow room. I will send on the Gestapo the unaltered photos of us. I know, lads. Now, come on. Get in those, cover up the faces. Podge, it's only a few picks and great to show the support of the day. There you go, like, there you go. Other comments out there. Hotbox hotline open today. It is actually. Where is it? Where is it? Who wants to go on the Hotbox hotline? Is anybody out there looking? We pop it up on screen there for you guys if you want. We have 10 minutes left, guys. If anybody wants to give it a call and have a friendly howdy, we turn on my Bluetooth. Boom, there we go. It's all connected up anyway, guys. If anybody wants to give me a holla, I will certainly answer and say hello. But we only got 10 minutes, guys. Just keep that in mind. Got 10 minutes there on the Martin's hotline. Anybody got any comments to add into the show? I know Daga Doc is out there. Daga Doc had a lot to say today. It's not Daga Doc ringing anyway. It is Russell. Hello, hello. Welcome to the show, Russell. What's happening, brother?
Yo. So,
what's up?
What people were talking about, showing their faces, yeah?
Yeah.
It had me thinking about, there's this great clip in John Oliver. I don't know if the audience watches John Oliver or not, but, what, Edward Snowden, yeah?
Yeah.
So he did an interview on John Oliver, and he was trying to make a comparison to, the CIA spying on people's messages.
Yeah.
Should you stop, sending stuff that you don't want the government knowing? And they compared it to dick pics. It's like, should you stop sending dick pics? And Edward Snowden's opinion was no. Keep sending dick pics, even though the government is looking at it. So it's the people who are like, oh, my face is showing or whatever. Just because the government is doing something wrong doesn't mean you shouldn't do something right. That was the whole moral of it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It just kind of resonated with me, so I thought I'd say it.
Yeah, well, that's it. That's the approach to think about it. As long as you're doing something right, it's important to stand up for it and not be afraid to show your face. Otherwise, this thing that you see as wrong is going to continue to keep happening.
And I would say it's more important, even though it's it's right, and the government is saying it's wrong.
Yeah,
like it's more important for you to be vocal and out about this. So yeah, that's all I had to say.
Nice one, Russell, man. A nice one for that, and enjoy the rest of your day. Have a nice evening.
You too, and I enjoyed my civil disobedience. Take care.
Excellent. Chat soon. Legend. So that's Russell Bant, guys, from the comments, and also a guest on the show there not too long ago. Get over and check out the live stream that myself and Russell put up together. One of the few guests that I actually done a show with live here on Martin's World. A good old conversation there as well. If you don't already know, Russell suffers with chronic pain and uses cannabis to help treat that, and is not able to get legal access to his choice of medicine here in Ireland. So check out that interview if you haven't done so already. Need some high and homegrown masks. That's coming in from Zombie Nation. Do the boys do them? Yeah, do the boys got their own masks over? Probably got the full bally. Oh, who do we have here? Let's see who it is. Hello, welcome to Martin's World.
Ah, Martin, how is it going, my man?
Hey, GB, how are you, pal? You good?
Not too bad, mate. Not too bad. I said I'd give a quick call in and just say how fucking epic yesterday was.
It was indeed. It was an amazing day. And you're saying yesterday as well. You still you lagging behind as well.
Ah, man, my whole days are just on the fucking pot these days. But, you know, hey, what day was it? Yeah, Saturday.
Saturday.
Savage. You know, it was like a different feeling. You know, like to be able to go and to be fucking sitting around chatting with mates, having a laugh, and having fucking the law walking and within like arm's reach of you.
Yeah.
And you blowing smoke up at them basically, not on purpose, but just blowing it up, and they're just walking past and doing that, and it was so liberating. I seen somebody else said it there.
Definitely.
Like fucking no, it was brilliant. I can't wait to the Cork one.
Excellent. And you know, the things like that, like imagine, like as you say, you weren't doing it on purpose, but just that to be at ease around the guards is a relief in itself. You know, for me, it was very hard for me to be at ease. I had to kind of go around with my camera. I felt at ease behind my camera, but I wouldn't have felt at ease if I had a joint in my hand. Like I wouldn't have been able to rest. I would have been just looking around me constantly.
Yeah, well, I found that now. I lost my lighter when I was doing a bit of the stream, but I was walking around with a split hanging out of my mouth.
Nice.
For the majority of it. And
yeah.
It was just cool. You know, it was different.
You got some good shots of the cops as well on your stream, yeah?
Yeah, I got a good few of them. I had
Nice.
one that was standing behind me, fucking, and the fact that he was there and he said quite openly and to me and to a lot of people that he supported us. He said it to you as well.
Yeah.
That he supported what we were doing there, and that he was a sergeant. You know, that's a big thing for a sergeant to turn around and say that he openly supports.
Yeah.
Over 1,000 people fucking smoking weed in public in the park.
Definitely.
Up the road from the president's house.
I would love to have been a fly in the wall in the Garda station after that event, after all the guards went back and they were having their cup of tea. I would love to know what they were saying and their real views, you know, because while they would say stuff to us, they were still probably reserving their real views.
Oh, look, I know loads of guards.
Yeah.
You know, and I know that their opinions, the vast majority of them are cannabis should be legalised.
Yeah.
Take cannabis out of the hands of the criminals, because that is what funds the vast majority of them is cannabis. You know, it's the biggest consumed drug for years in this country.
Yeah, it certainly is. As I was trying to work out a while ago, I reckon like 30-40% of the guards' times dealing with drug users or drug dealers, and is it like over almost 80% of that is cannabis? Like crazy to think.
It's madness. But you look at, it's not just the things, it's the waste of judges' times, of solicitors' times, of guards' times, of the people themselves.
Yeah.
Like, you know yourself, Martin, you have been dragged how many times back for fucking a tenner's worth?
Yeah. And each of those times you have to go to court, it's a day off of work I had to take, or I was missing a day of college in some of those instances.
You know, it's just ridiculous. And then the amount of money that it costs to actually bring somebody to a trial or to court, it's just a farce.
It is.
You know, they pit good money against bad constantly in this country.
Yeah. Do you think that the message will be sent on up the lines a bit from that day? Do you think maybe that there might be more talks going on within the guards, that maybe someday we might see actually the Garda, I don't know what you call them, who's the Garda representative? Yeah, the Garda representative something, GRA.
The ombudsman.
Yeah, but it's the Garda Representative Association. Yeah, that's them. I think that's them.
Yeah.
Imagine if they came out and supported the move for decriminalising the drug user and regulating drugs, like the youth workers against prohibition have come out. That would be amazing.
It would be amazing, Marion, but I don't know. I don't know if the guards really, in fairness, will they ever publicly come out and fucking say it, because you look at all the money that the guards get from it. You know,
Yeah.
why would they get 100% of all the seizures, of all the goods, the acids, all the money, all of that? So if they get 100% of that,
Yeah.
why would they only want 20% or even 40% if they're only getting on taxes?
That's true.
They make more money with it being illegal in this country than the government and the things
Yeah.
than they would if it was legal.
But that's only benefiting the high-ranking ones then as well. So if that's kind of right, then what we're saying here is that the problem is at the top problem. So even the guy, the superintendent, was it, or what say he was? A sergeant.
It'd be up to the commissioner, and a sergeant's opinion would still not make much leeway.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So even up to the levels of sergeants, they're on our side almost. They agree with the decriminalisation and regulation of cannabis. But up above them then is where the problem therein lies then, is the top-down way in which it works, is they have to do it. They're told from above. It's not the other way around.
Why is that? Why is that, Maren? Because they don't do the dirty work.
Yeah.
They're not on the beat. They're not dealing with the people in the public. They're not dealing with everybody. They're dealing with the people that have to deal with it. I go, oh, shit, just get on with it. Do it. It's your job.
Yeah.
You know?
Spot on. No, you're spot on. No, I really do hope we get back to a day where the Gardaí find their place back in the communities again, because they're good people. Like, honestly, they do a tremendous job in our community. They're of vital importance. It's just that the way in which they've been hijacked by the guys at the top now, and the way they do their job in the street, it's not the way it was intended at the inception of the Gardaí. You know, they were supposed to be peace officers to keep the peace.
Yeah.
They're doing the opposite now. They're terrorists.
100%. 100%. Like, Maren, I smoked weed with cops, with guards. I have guards that have smoked my weed and have said it was the best weed that they've smoked. You know, and these are guards. These are young guards the same age as me and younger, and they're all cool with it. They smoke, and they smoke because they don't want to be taking prescription drugs for the anxiety and the stress that they have from their job.
Yeah.
That they're doing, incriminating people that they're consuming the same things for the same reasons, but they have to do it because it's their job.
Yeah. No, I covered I covered a piece on the guards before here on the show where was it like 4 out of every 8 guards, or 4 out of every 8 guards, something like that. There was a high number of guards anyway that require all sorts of therapy and suffer from PTSD related to on-the-job traumas. And you have to wonder, you know, how many of them are actually on prescription medication, and how many of them might be, as you said, self-medicating with cannabis in the background as well.
Yeah, well, that's it, man. Yep. Sure, we all know that when they done the swabs, even when we go into the likes of the Dáil, when they swabbed the toilets in the Dáil, they found more cocaine, traces of cocaine and fucking shit on the back seats, on the toilets, the cisterns in the Dáil, where these fuckers make the rules. Than they found purer and better cocaine than they did on the fucking cisterns in the nightclubs.
Yeah.
Now, what does that say to you? You know, it's just hypocrisy.
Yeah, it is.
But
It's a complete
I will
joke.
not keep you any further, because I know you're in a rush, and I'm sure other people will want to give you a ring as well. I just want to say thanks, Maren, for putting all the stellar work in, as always, my good man.
And same to yourself, GB. It was great to meet you above there on the day, and we look forward to getting you down to Cork next.
Oh, I'll be there. Is it on this Saturday, or is it?
No. The 7th of August is going to be the day that we'll have it. Yeah, we'll make an official announcement there very soon once I get the poster at hand.
Happy days. I will make sure I have it booked in advance.
Yeah, job. That's the job.
Oh, lovely. Right, go on. I will chat to you later, mate.
Thanks for the call. Enjoy your evening. Good luck.
Thank you, buddy. Bye.
Bye. So that was GB, guys, from over on the High on Homegrown podcast. Guys, if you haven't subscribed already to the High on Homegrown podcast over on YouTube, get over there and hit the subscribe button. The lads do a great show. My show, I kind of stick to the serious side of things, follow the news and stuff like that. But the guys have the laugh, have the crack. And I really enjoy that then. There's a lot more banter over there. Whereas here, sometimes it can be a bit depressing with the fucking news. Like, dudes getting their doors kicked in over 3 plants. Like, you know, it's not really that's not going to really entertain people at all. Like, it's just going to piss people off. So the High and Homegrown podcast, guys, if you want entertainment, if you like hanging out with like-minded stoners, that's the place to be. You just heard GB there, so he's one of the presenters there on the show. One of 5, I believe, or is it one of 4? Mackie, Zombie, Monkey, and GB. And Temple, 5, one of 5. Yeah. So there's 5 of the guys over there. So that's the High and Homegrown podcast. Right, I have a bowl ready to go here. I'm going to blaze this one up, guys, and I'm going to say goodbye. Much love to everybody who's after tuning in. Yeah, Pods4420 saying there, GB speaking truth, 100%, man. Truth bombs being dropped all the time here in 420 News. Yummy. Schleinte. Schleinte is Irish for health, guys, just in case you didn't know. There is one on in Dublin in August also, Martin. John, send me on a link there or any more info you have on that one in Dublin in August. Let's make sure that the dates aren't clashing. I heard somebody mention something about the 1st of August, I think. Maybe that's from the Irish Medicinal Cannabis Council, but I haven't seen anything to confirm that. So if you've got something there on that, John, send it on to me, man, because let's get promoting this shit. Like, if I don't know about it, then all ye must not know about it, except John. John's in the know. What's going on, John? You're holding out on me, buddy. Alter ego, it's not the message in the messenger. It's not the message, it's the messenger, Martin. Nice one there. That's a good point there, Alter ego. Serenable also saying, got arrested last week for weed and the guards said they don't give two shuggas. Yeah, man. Sorry to hear that, Serenable. Hopefully you didn't get caught with too much there, and hopefully the fucking court goes in your favour anyway. Fucking hate about people getting busted. Got a message off of somebody there on Facebook as well the other day. They were driving out the road with their used soil in the car, and the cops seen the soil, and they questioned the guy. Guy said, "Oh, I'm a gardener or whatever," and then fucking returned home a couple of hours later, and his door was after being kicked in, and the cops took his plants that he had in his gaff for himself. Horrible situation to be fucking stuck in. So I hate hearing these stories, but at the same time, look, it's necessary to hear them and share them as well, to get her out there, because we need to make the public aware of the harms being done by this silly prohibition. Yeah, so peace out, guys. Yeah, peace out to you too, Podge. Enjoy the rest of your evening, guys. I'm gonna love ye and leave ye. JD saying here, I know you probably get this question a lot, but I'm a bit of a new fan. Do you not worry about getting raided or just constantly getting searched? I was constantly getting searched before doing this, Jay. I got stopped and searched so many times for no reason whatsoever. So for me to do this, and you know, I'm not actually getting searched any more than what I was before. In fact, I'm probably getting stopped and searched less. Am I worried about getting raided? Yes, I am, but I'm ready as well at the same time. Like, should the cops come and raid me, there's cameras up around my house ready to capture fucking what unfolds. So, and they're warned about this too. I've told them this, that look, if you come, I'm going to make sure I have nothing in my house outside of, like, say this. If they come right now, this is what they're going to catch me with. Do you know, and that and the CBD buds there that I was given by Irish Hemp Harvest. It's not fucking much else there than other than that, like. Maybe another little bud or two, like, but it's all my own personal use. So I'll have a great time recording them and recording the interactions between them and the rest of my family as well, if they ever do. So I wonder, like, you know, is doing this fucking almost giving me a layer of protection from the cops, as in, like, they're kind of maybe a bit hesitant now to raid me, because look, I'm strong in my arguments. I'm protesting as well. A lot of the stuff, everything I'm doing is a protest. So that I'm probably a bit of a thorn in the side for them, and maybe I'm a bit of a difficult fish to handle in a certain sense. And they're just trying to figure out what to do with me right now. And yeah, I do definitely think that there's a day coming. My days are numbered, all right, in terms of like the response there from the cops. But Yeah, I'm going to keep on doing this anyway because it's important that this gets done. If I don't do this, then the harms that befall so many other people, like, will be just like the harms that befell me at the hands of the guards under this fucking model of prohibition. So that's why I'm doing this. Like, it's the greater good. It's important, and I hope more people can be inspired by that and go out and do the same, guys. Stand up. Like, if you've been affected by this wrongly, if you've been raided by the cops, if you've been stopped and searched and you don't like it, speak up. Like, use your voice. Like, because this is happening to other people as well. If you don't, your silence is going to cause the suffering of others who follow in your footsteps. That's my views and opinions. Um, if I was to remain silent on my suffering, then it's only going to help with the suffering of others. I'm actually a part of their suffering now, because I'm responsible in a sense, like that I did nothing, that's how I feel. That's why I do this. If I have to go to prison for my views and beliefs, well, at least I go to prison standing up for what was right, and I'll have a lot of pride in doing that as well, So good question, Jay. Thanks very much for it. I really appreciate it. And welcome along to the show as well. So hopefully you enjoyed what you've seen here, and hopefully you keep coming back for more as well. And if you have any more questions as well, get them on in there. I'm going to have to leave now, guys, though, because I really do got to get down to the Thai boxing and all of that stuff. Pods for 420 so saying over in Manchester, Outlaw Manchester got 2 different cases thrown out of court and compensation given to the people involved. That's right. He's got a good campaign going on around him over there. So again, if there's people in the legal profession here who can give assistance for myself and we can get these test cases as well, let's fucking go for it. Like, I've been trying to do my own test case, but I haven't even been before the courts yet now for it, where I marched into the Garda station with the plants and with the cannabis. Like, I just wonder what would happen with those cases. Like, these are my test cases, so we'll see. Right. Sent you the link on Messenger. Nice one for that, John Finnegan, legend. Saint Martin of the Cannabis Leaf. That is a good old ring to it, actually. I wouldn't mind. Martin, the patron saint in cannabis. Any other comments? Did Marty show up at the protest, or did Manny show up at the protest? Yeah, we had over 1,000 people there, Mai Tai 23. So quite a number of people as well. A great march was had as well, so a great demonstration from the community, a great representation of the community as well there on the day. No trouble. Only one group left a bit of a mess behind them, but look, we were responsible as organisers and we cleaned that shit up and we left the park in a good condition after us. So again, representing, flying the flag for the cannabis community loud and proud on the day. So yeah, great turnout. Man Falls, the present laws are interpreted one state, you might have answered this already, Martin, probably missed, but when do you reckon the next smoke up will be? Fair sour, I missed the last one, sounded like a great crack. Man Falls, 7th of August, buddy, stick it into your calendar. We're going to do a picnic protest here in Cork. Again, probably down in the same spot, but look, all to be confirmed there very soon, but the date anyway, you can certainly put that in your calendar. Yeah, 7th of August, just under 4 weeks, Saturday, 3 weeks away. So get it in, guys. Make sure you're off work and that you got babysitters and all of that stuff. Like, and bring your kids if you want, in fact. Like, you know what I mean? There was great photos I got there of families enjoying the day yesterday. And why shouldn't they be able to? Like, we accommodate for families to go to pubs here in Ireland, and we even have a time in which kids have to be out of the pubs, and I thought it was great to see families up there together out enjoying the day, with one or even two of the parents consuming cannabis there, and their kids, just enjoying themselves playing in the park, and to the young kids, it was like a normal day out to them. In fact, like, they didn't take anything out of the ordinary from it, and they shouldn't either, and well done to those parents for helping to normalize this with their own kids, because it'll be something that they'll be able to educate them on more effectively now, because as a result of normalizing it in the way they did. So guys, yeah, definitely your kids are more than welcome to come with you to any protest picnic in the park, because families are very much damaged by this too. torn apart. You know, many fathers locked up because of their selling of cannabis, and a lot of the times it is fathers, and that leaves then kids, you know, having to visit maybe their dad in prison and all of this kind of stuff. Like, so yeah, I think it's important too that we have family represented at this protest on the 7th of August. So, no, as I said, get your babysitters if you want them. But look, your kids are more than welcome to come. Like, this isn't adults only, but it certainly is adults only for the consumption of cannabis there on the day. Like, I don't want to see any 12 or 13-year-olds showing up, like, with their fucking sleeping bag joints. But yeah, look, I'm going to bounce on out of here, guys, because it's 6 and I'm going to have to get down to the gym. Martin, tell the local ice cream man about the next smoke up. Yes, that's a good idea. We'll get on to him, to the high creams. Ice creams. We'll do, definitely WRT, we'll get that done. So 7th of August, guys, Cork City, make your plans, get it into your diary. We'll have an official announcement there very soon, just waiting on the poster to get finished. So we'll be back with that on the next 420 news. So much love, guys. I'm definitely gone this time. It's like the long Irish goodbyes, like, we're great for them, aren't we? Bye, 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 bye. Stay blazed out there, guys. Keep her lit. I'll be back with more 420 news on Wednesday. A heads up, I won't be here on Friday, guys. Family day out on Friday. We're going to Ballyhass. We're going to enjoy the water there and the inflatables as well. So apologies there on that, but we'll make up for it. I always try to make up for it, don't I? Stay blazed. Keep her lit, guys. Peace and love.